What's up, Carptastic ladies and gentlemen? I am very happy to have you here with me today for another Meta Monday episode in this TCGO series. Meta Monday is that day of the week where we take a look at a competitive deck from the past or the present in a Pokemon TCG online meta, and today's deck is based around Yveltal, Gallade and Archeops, a very popular deck during the very recent Pokemon Winter Regionals. Daniel Altavilla won the Regionals in Doswell with it. Brad Curcio won the regionals in, what was it, against St. Louis with it, and then there were a ton of other players who played the deck and did very well with it, like Israel Sosa and many others. And today we are going to take a look at it. As always, if you want to skip the deck analysis, just click the annotation on the top left of the screen or click the timestamp in the description, and that shall take you straight to the battles. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Yveltal EX, it is a very mighty Pokemon, 170 hit points, and the Evil Ball attack, very famous for it. For a darkness and a colorless energy, you do 20 damage plus 20 more damage for the times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. It's also got a pretty good second attack, Y Cyclone, does 90 as a base, costs a DCE and a darkness, and you get to move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. Very handy if you wanna recycle those DCEs on the Yveltal EX when it is about to get knocked out. You can just move them to a benched Pokemon, and that way they stay on the board. They don't get moved to the discard pile if the Yveltal is KO'd. 2 copies of the Yveltal in this deck, then 1 copy of the Archeops. This Archeops prevents our opponents from evolving any Pokemon from his hands with the ability Ancient Power, and we don't play the Arcan, or that's the first, the basic. We don't play the Arcan, I think that's how you pronounce it. So that means we will have to get the Archeops on the bench using Max's Hidden Ball Trick. 2 copies of Max's Hidden Ball Trick in the deck, and then 1 copy of Gallade. This Gallade has the Premonition ability. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put them back on top of your deck in any order that you want. This is very handy for drawing into a card that you are in need of, in dire needs during the game. So, and also the Sensitive Blade is a very good attack, does 60 as the base. And if you play the supporter card from your hand during your turn, this attack does 70 more, so you are doing 130 for just a single DCE, so 2 colorless energies. That is pretty amazing. We will also be splashing that on the bench using the Max's Hidden Ball Trick. Then the other Pokemon in this deck are the 2 copies of Yveltal, Baby Yveltal from the XY expansion with the Oblivion Wing for energy acceleration. Does 30, costs a darkness energy, and you get to attach a darkness energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. So this is one form of energy acceleration in a deck. Another is the Dark Patch. 4 copies of the Dark Patch. It allows us to attach a basic darkness energy card from our discard pile to one of our dark benched Pokemon. So that means we will need to get some darkness energies in a discard pile, and that's why we play 4 Battle Compressors. And not only to get darkness energies in the discard pile, but also to get the Archeops and the Gallade in the discard pile, and maybe a copy of the Max's Hidden Ball Trick so that we have access to it with the VS Seeker, for example. There's lots of options going on, and we could even use it to discard a Shaymin, and then we can get back the Shaymin with the Buddy Rescue in our hands to play down the Shaymin. So I put 1 copy of the Buddy Rescue in this deck because it has such a good synergy with the 4 Battle Compressor. And then also 1 copy of an Yveltal from the Breakthrough expansion with Fright Night. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, each Pokemon tool card in play has no effect, and the Pitch Black Spear attack for a darkness and a DCE, you do 60 and then 60 more to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon EX. Very good to play against Night March, so you can do 60 to the active Night Marcher and then 60 to a Shaymin on the bench, and hopefully knock that Shaymin out at some point, maybe even in the next turn. If the Yveltal gets knocked out by a Night Marcher, we could get it back with this Buddy Rescue, for example. Then finally, there's 2 more Pokemon, or actually, oh no, 5 more. What am I saying? 5 more Pokemon. 2 Darkrai for the free retreat with the Dark Cloak ability of our Darkness Pokemon. If they have a Dark Energy attached, Then one Keldeo for rushing and retreat. Of course, we need to play some floatstones then so that we can retreat the Keldeo. That's why we play 2 copies of the floatstone. One Hoopa EX to get out our Keldeo, our Darkrai, and our Yveltal EX a little bit easier. Then one Jirachi EX for stellar guidance, for draw support basically, or supporter support, if that's what you can call it, because the stellar guidance allows us to get a supporter into our hands and then we can play it down. And then finally 2 Shaymins for draw support with setup, and maybe a Sky Return, you never know. We do play 4 DCE to use with the Sky Return, as well as the Evil Ball here, and potentially the Pitch Black Spear. Then 7 Darkness Energies to go with all our Darkness Pokemon. And of course the DCE, I forgot to mention, the DCE is also used for Sensitive Blade. Then we shall go over the trainers here pretty quickly. I already touched upon a few of the trainers, but we still have some left. One Computer Search, a very powerful card in an expanded deck, allows you to search your deck for any card that you need. Very powerful indeed. 3 Trainer's Mail for consistency, 4 Ultra Ball for getting out our Pokemon, 4 VS Seekers to get to our supporters, 1 Hex Maniac to get rid of those abilities. For example, the Prevalent item lock can be really annoying, so then we can play a Hex Maniac during our turn, and then after playing the Hex Maniac we can play some item cards. 2 Lysander, or 1 Lysander, I forgot, 1 Lysander for Lysandering out those Pokemon on my opponent's bench. Then 2 Maxis, 1 N, and 3 Sycamore for draw support. 2 Reverse Valley to increase the attack damage from our Darkness Pokemon by 10. And then 2 Floatstone, 2 Muscle Bands to increase our attack damage as well. And that's it for the very popular list from the recent Pokemon Regionals. I think it's time to find ourselves an opponent. Leave a like if you enjoy this video and subscribe to my channel for more competitive, silly and fun deck ideas. I shall see you in the tournament. Here we are in a tournament. The first round of the tournament is about to begin. We need 1 more player to join and then the tournament shall kick off. This is of course an expanded tournament because we are playing with an expanded deck. Let's see if we can pull off the win against Archbarge 1-0 with Yveltal, Gallade, Archeops. So let's go for heads. We get to start first and I will go first. Set up first, power up our Yveltal. We saw Psychic Lightning and Fighting, I think, in my opponent's deck. We start off with a baby Yveltal and a pretty good hand. I'm definitely okay with this hand. Ideally, I would have liked to see this DCE still in the deck. Ooh, this Night March. Oh, that's going to be very interesting to deal with. So this is Night March Garchomp then. I'm going to guess that's what it is. We will, let's see here, we will attach an energy to the baby Yveltal. We'll put down the Keldeo and we're actually going to promote the Keldeo. We're going to go ahead and assume that my opponent cannot knock it out in 1 hit. We'll also play down the stadium. Then we'll hex my opponent and we'll end our turn here. I'm going to leave it at this, keep the Shaymin for the next turn. Yeah, we'll leave it at this. And hopefully we can go for a knockout on the Joltik then. There's a fight. Oh no, Fighting Fury Belt on a Joltik. Oh, that's annoying. That's for sure annoying. My opponent discarded a Battle Compressor. Are you kidding me? Discarded a Battle Compressor with the Acrobike. So I don't think we saw colorless in my opponent's deck, so my opponent must not be using Shaymin then. Maybe I shouldn't have gone with the Hex Maniac. Opponent discards a Gallade, so this is not a Garchomp Night March, this is Gallade Night March, and also puts down a Mew EX. Then there's a Sycamore, discards a Floatstone. So this is actually a bit of a slower variant of Night March then. If we can get a Lysander, we could Lysander out the Joltik on the bench and go for a knockout that way. Yeah, the Hex Maniac didn't do too much for us there, because my opponent doesn't run Shaymin. Should have known from the typing. See 4 Night Marches in the discard pile. A Bicycle. That's going to hit us for 80, 90 with the Fighting Fury belt. That's indeed not a knockout. There's a Dark Patch. I will put down the Shaymin now and see what we can draw into. We get an Archeops. That's not too useful for us. An N. Not the best here. Not the best. I'll attach his DCE to the Shaymin. I will go for a Sycamore. Let's see what you can get from the Sycamore. I could get a Darkrai, which is Psychic weak. It's not Lightning weak like the Yveltal. So this might be what we have to go with here. And we don't have any energies in our discard pile. This is not looking good for us at all. Definitely not looking good for us. Yeah, we can only go for the Oblivion Wing, and it's a waste since we can't attach an energy card from our discard pile. Very bad start against Night March. Very bad indeed. This is not how you want to start off against Night March. There is a VS Seeker from my opponents. Sycamore. Oh, N. I am actually glad to see the N. And now we get a Battle Compressor a little bit too late there. I'll probably use the Buddy Buddy Rescue to get back the baby Yveltal from our discard pile. We need to go for the knockouts on the Mew. That's what we need to go for. That's how we need to take our prizes. Not a Battle Compressor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Night Marches in the discard pile. And unnecessary damage on that Yveltal. Let's see, this Joltik, yeah, I will promote the Shaymin, attack with the Shaymin, and I'll use the Buddy Buddy Rescue, get back the baby Yveltal, and force my opponent to get something back from the discard pile. There's a Joltik. We'll get back the baby Yveltal. And we'll start powering up the Darkrai on the bench. The Darkrai can hit for the 1-hit KO on the Mew EX with the Stadium, and can then snipe a Joltik on the bench. We'll also discard some energies so we can Dark Patch them onto the Darkrai, and as well as the Hoopa. No need to see the Hoopa. And then I think it's time to go with an N of our own. Bring down our opponent's hand size to 5 instead of 6. Do we get a Dark Patch? We don't get a Dark Patch. We do get the Muscle Bands, which is really helpful. We'll go with another Battle Compressor. Battle Compress, Gallade, and Yveltal. This Yveltal here can come in handy for sure, so I'm going to keep it in the deck. I'm also going to keep the Listener in the deck. How many Dark Patches do we have? 1, 2. Only 2. Only 2. Alright, so now it's time to go for the knockouts. Now we shall promote the baby Yveltal once again. We really need a Dark Patch. That's what we really need. Yeah, we get another Stadium. No, that's not very good. We need a Dark Patch so we can power up the Yveltal in one turn and keep up with my opponents. One DCE is in my opponent's discard pile, so he has 3 more, and there the Stadium gets countered. That's pretty important because we need Stadium to 1-hit KO the Mew with our Night Spear. If we can hit a Dark Patch from the top deck, we can power up the Darkrai EX, and then we can Listener out Mew EX. by using the Jirachi here. That's going to be the plan. But we really need that Dark Patch for energy acceleration. My opponent is looking for something with the Skyla. I wonder what it is. It is a bicycle, huh? So he's going to use it to draw a little bit more. 2 cards. Maybe for the next turn. There is a knockout. We will promote the Keldeo EX. Okay, this is the important turn here. There is a Vespiquen, which is not useful. We need a Dark Patch. That's what we really need. I'm going to go all in here. And I'm going to put down the Jirachi, search for a Listener, I will attach a Floatstone to the Jirachi, and I will put down a Shaymin, draw into 2 more cards. Can we get a Dark Patch? We cannot. Okay, so now it's time to use the Ultra Ball, discard the DCE and the Listener, which we can get back with the Vespiquen. We'll go for another baby Yveltal, and then we'll put down the baby Yveltal, attach a muscle band to it, and then put down the Shaymin. We're looking for that Dark Patch. Can we get it? And we cannot get it. Are you freaking kidding me? Might as well use the Battle Compressor. Battle Compressor. An Ultra Ball and an Ultra Ball. And then we'll go with the N, so we won't be able to Listener out the Mew. We need a Dark Patch from this N. We really need it. Then we can knock out the Joltik here. And there it is, there's the Dark Patch. So we can knock out the Joltik, and then we can put 30 on the Pumpkaboo on the bench. Here it is, Knight, or 40 actually. Making it a little bit tougher on my opponents to Night March. Needs a DCE Stadium. 1, 2 Joltiks in the discard pile. 1, 2 Pumpkaboos. So my opponent has 1 more Joltik, 1 more Pumpkaboo, either in the prizes or in the deck somewhere. Here's an Ultra Ball for probably another Night Marcher. My opponent still needs a Dimension Value to attack with the Mew EX. Oh, now it doesn't anymore. Well, he still does actually. Yeah, for sure. Still does. If we hadn't seen the Joltik, he would have needed a Dimension Value and an energy. There's an energy, so no Dimension Value needed. Will this be a knockout? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not a knockout. My opponent needs a Muscle Band and another Night Marcher in the discard pile. We will knock out the Mew for sure, and we'll go for the knockout on the Joltik, taking 3 prizes in the next turn. Now we are just 1 prize away, and that's the Pumpkaboo. So if we don't see a stadium counter, we will have a very nice turn in the next round, in the next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is not enough. There's a Sycamore. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a stadium counter there. Oh no. Still haven't seen a stadium counter. We've only seen 1 Dimension Value played so far, and there's no stadium counter. We stay alive. Wow, that was huge. That was huge. I will power up the baby Yveltal. And we will go for the knockout here for 3 prizes. And there it is, my opponent concedes the match. Amazing. Amazing. We took the win against Night March. Even though in the first turn I made a misplay, in the very first turn, I made a misplay by playing that Hex Maniac. Normally that's pretty good against Night March, but not today here, since, yeah, my opponent didn't play any Shaymin, which is quite amazing. And I should have played down the Shaymin before the Hex Maniac as well, so we could have set up a little bit easier or a little bit quicker. But nonetheless, we still took it, managed to come back. I think we did pretty well there in the comeback. Made it tough on ourselves in the start and then managed to come back. I think that speaks of the power of this deck as well. Darkrai is always good to use against Night March with this deck, because it can get those extra prizes by sniping the bench. And Darkrai EX is therefore the MVP here for this matchup. Biggest attack 120 versus 300 for my opponent. 230 damage dealt versus 830 for my opponent. Look how askew that is. And we still took the game. We still took it. But anyways, I think the next round was about to begin. So let's have a look. And there it is indeed. The next round has begun. I just had to click and it started. And we are facing AYB A9. Sounds it's very close to ABBA, but it's got the Y there with a darkness deck, and we probably have to go second here since my opponent is choosing who goes first. Indeed, we go second. Hopefully we can have some more dark patches in our deck this time around. We might actually be able to pull off an Archie here. We have the Gallade, we have the Ultra Ball to get rid of the Gallade and Shaymin, depending on what we top deck. We might be able to pull off the... Oh, I said Archie, I meant Maxi. It's very confusing. We're facing an Yveltal EX. This is a mirror match. Maybe no need to go with the Maxi Sidon Ball Trick then, since the Yveltal is fighting weak. Fighting resistant. We top decked a Dark Patch. Let's see. I will attach these muscle bands, and then do I want to go with the Maxi? I kind of feel like going with it just for fun. Let's discard this energy and the Gallade. Let's go for an Yveltal EX. And then we'll Dark Patch onto the Yveltal EX. Now we'll play down the Shaymin, draw some more cards. What I really want to do is power up as much as I can during my first turn. And if possible, we can still pull off the Archie. There's a Battle Compressor. I will use the Battle Compressor. Discard some energies and the Archeops if it is in our deck, because we don't want to draw into the Archeops. So we'll go with that, and then we'll play down and the... Should we play down the Darkrai? We'll play down the Darkrai. We'll get rid of the Foatstone, and we'll get another baby Yveltal. And then we'll go for the Maxi Sidon Ball Trick. So we did manage to pull it off and draw through our deck a little bit. And there is an energy which I was looking for. I was looking for this energy so we can start powering up the Yveltal EX on the bench. We'll Battle Compress some more. We have a DCE for the turn after that. Let's take a look. How many energies do we have in the discard pile? 2. That's enough for now. I'll discard a Lysander, and I'll discard probably another Darkrai. I don't think we'll need it. As well as this Yveltal. I don't think we'll need that either. And that seems pretty good. So we'll Oblivion Wing, or we'll actually use the... Almost forgot, we'll use the Premonition for what do we want in the next turn. Probably a Dark Patch. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4 energies. That's 100. I wait 1, then 2, 3 from the DCE, then 2 on the Yveltal EX in the active spot because I'm expecting to see another attachment. That's 5. That's 100, 120. That's enough for a knockout on the Yveltal EX together with the damage from the baby Yveltal. And I'm still going to go for the Dark Patch because that way we can start powering up maybe some other Pokemon on our bench. And now we'll go for the Oblivion Wing, getting back an energy from our discard pile. And passing the turn to my opponent. My opponent needs some more basics or this is going to be it. This is going to be GG. There is a second energy. It's not enough for a knockout. My opponent is doing 80 to us right now. 100 needs some more energies. And there is an Evil Ball. So this will be it. This is GG already. Can you believe it? We demolished another Yveltal EX deck. We'll just go for the Dark Patch. Why not do some unnecessary damage? Then we'll retreat. And there's no need to do anything else. Evil Ball for the win in the mirror match. Pretty easy right there. Much easier than the first match. Much less mistakes as well. I really do apologize for that very bad first turn in that previous match. But hey, it happens sometimes and I think I did pretty well afterwards, so I will excuse myself that way. Damage dealt 210 versus 100. Biggest attack 160 versus 100. And MVP Yveltal EX versus Yveltal EX. I think that speaks for itself. I think our deck pulled it off really nicely, really neatly. So let's have a look at our other opponents, our other players. Sun Never Sets versus Border Games is still going on, so I will be right back when these guys have finished. 10 more seconds to the finals of this tournament against Sun Never Sets. Sun Never Sets won it from Border Games apparently. I will see soon enough with which deck Sun Never Sets managed to beat Border Games. Seems to be a Water, Colorless and Darkness deck. Water, Colorless and Darkness. Maybe this is again an Yveltal EX deck, maybe with Shaymin and Octillery. I don't know what the water typing would be. How do you combine water and darkness in the same deck? That's pretty interesting. Oh my gosh. We start off with a Jirachi EX in the finals of this tournament. What a way to start off the finals. I'll have to find a Keldeo that so we can rush in and retreat that poor Jirachi. And there it is. 3 basics from my opponents. Ooh, a Mega Tyranitar, Buffalant, and Rattata. So lots of different types of Pokemon there. I'm going to guess that the water typing is the Octillery. There are some darkness energies. This Tyranitar could evolve in the Mega Tyranitar. Does need 4 energy attachments, which is really good for our Yveltal. We joined to... Are you freaking kidding me? We joined to another VS Seeker. Oh my gosh. We'll have to discard probably our entire hand here. Going to discard a VS Seeker and a Sycamore. And I will go with a Hoopa. There's your Hoopa. Excellent choice. I will go with a Keldeo, a Shaymin, and an Yveltal EX. I think those are our best bets right now. Here we go. We could rush in with the Keldeo when needed. This Tyranitar EX could do 60 plus 20. That's 80. That's not enough for the knockout. So for now, I'll leave the Jirachi in the active spot. And then we'll go with the Shaymin. Hopefully we can draw into a Battle Compressor so we can discard some energies, Dark Patch them onto the Yveltal, and we do indeed amazing stuff. We'll discard 1 energy, 2 energies, and a Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. And no need to see the Maxi at the moment, I believe. Now we'll Dark Patch onto the Yveltal. Now we'll go with another Battle Compressor, and hopefully maybe Battle Compress a supporter, an N that we can use right now. Then we don't have to discard that other VS Seeker. Maybe another, well no, we'll keep one Maxi, we'll discard the Gallade, and we'll discard maybe the Hex Maniac. I don't think we'll have much use for the Hex Maniac. And there we go, the first turn did work out for us, even though we started off with a pretty bad hand. So we'll go with the N. And there is a Floatstone. We could actually attack right now. And I might go ahead and do that. Put some pressure on my opponent. So we will rush in and retreat. And go for an Evil Ball for, let's see, 100 damage if I counted that correctly. Indeed it is 100. That's a knockout in the next turn. Look at that. We came back big time. Although it costs us 2 VS Seekers. But that's the price you gotta pay sometimes to get rid of some bad starting hands. And this might actually be GG if my opponent cannot get anything else going. There's a Raticate, that could be pretty dangerous with the Super Fang. Could go for a one-hit KO on our Yveltal EX actually. If we see some poison damage with lasers. Which is possible since we are playing in Expanded. But for now I think we are looking pretty good. This Raticate needs 3 energy attachments. Or 2 energy attachments when played with a DCE and another energy. So if my opponent does not attach this turn, we are safe in the next turn. And it doesn't seem like much is happening. There's a Pokemon Fan Club. I don't think we'll see an attachment then. I think my opponent does not have the hand that's necessary to go for the attachment. Gets a Froakie, so the water typing is maybe Greninja. It seems like a bit of a... like just a mixture of different Pokemon. There's the attachment, so we might see the Super Fang after all. That means I will go with the... probably the Y-Cyclone. Y-Cyclone onto the baby Yveltal maybe. You have another energy to put on the Yveltal in the active spot, so if it gets knocked out, at least we didn't waste the DCE. We'll go with the Y-Cyclone and get the DCE onto the... or maybe onto the Shaymin. I'll put it onto the Shaymin for now, so we can do Sky Return if we really need to. And we are taking the first 2 prizes of the game, another Shaymin and an Archeops. Get put into our hands. Might go with the Sycamore next turn and discard that Yveltal EX. Ooh, and a Raticate Break. That is really interesting. Because this Raticate has a Super Fang as well as the Raticate Break, so it's double Super Fang there. Now my opponent just needs 1 energy. Huh. That is really funny. A Raticate Break with the Super Fang, evolving from a Raticate with Super Fang. Okay then. So if we see an energy, we will get put down to 10 hit points. That's okay. We can go for the one-hit KO anyways, I think. Super Fang for 160. There's a DCE. Do I want to go for an Evil Ball actually? I will power up the baby Yveltal. We could go for a Darkness Blade at some point. Let's take a look at the Trainer's Mail. Get a Muscle Band. A Reverse Valley. I'll go with the Muscle Band. And then I'll do another Y-Cyclone. I'll Y-Cyclone this DCE to the baby Yveltal, that way it's ready to attack. Ideally I would have liked to Y-Cyclone to this Yveltal EX, but we don't have any bench space left. So we'll go with the Y-Cyclone to the baby Yveltal. for the knockout here. Funny thing is, my opponent can knock out the Yveltal EX with the Froakie on the bench. At least we'll free up some space for the Yveltal EX when this one gets knocked out. My opponent does not promote the Froakie, goes with the Rattata. I don't see why. Maybe it doesn't have an energy to go with the Pound. There's another Eradicate. This time it's not the one from the Black and White era from Boundaries Crossed. This is the one from the Breakpoint expansion. And it's going to poison us and go for the knockout that way. There it is. We'll go for the knockout with the Darkness Blade and we'll start powering up the other Yveltal on our bench. Even get an Ultra Ball. Let's take a look at the Trainer's Mail. A Maxi. Might as well get the Maxi. And then I'll probably go with the Sycamore. Use the computer search to get a Sycamore. Maybe we can get some Dark Patches. Because we definitely have some more left in our deck. And there is indeed 2 Dark Patches. Amazing stuff. What more can you wish for? We have a Battle Compressor to boot with the Dark Patches since we run out of Darkness energies in our discard pile. So I'll discard one more. I think we only have one more Dark Patch left, yeah. So discard one more energy, we'll discard a Darkrai. No need to see 2 Darkrai's anymore, and we'll also discard an Archeops. And we'll Dark Patch onto the Yveltal on the bench once again. And we'll go for a Darkness Blade with the baby Yveltal for 100 damage. If we flip tails, we cannot attack, but we can rush in and retreat to the Yveltal on the bench. It is heads anyways, so we can still attack with the baby Yveltal while we get another one from the prizes. Right now we are looking really good. We are looking splendid, very healthy in the active spot, very healthy on the bench, very healthy with the cards in our hand. We have everything we need to pull off the game here. We just need to get 2 more KOs, which shouldn't be too much trouble. Let's read the Boofer ability. Any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 20. So we'll rush in, retreat, and promote the Yveltal EX maybe. Or if we can get a Muscle Band, we could go with the Darkness Blade. Should have one more Muscle Band in the deck. If not, we'll go with the Evil Ball, which could hit for 100. So we need a Muscle Band for the Yveltal as well. I will put down the stadium for sure. There is a Lysander for my opponent. That's okay. We have the Keldeo. So I think we'll see a pass. There it is. We'll put down the stadium. We'll Battle Compress. Thin out our deck a little bit more. We get a Floatstone Lysander. No need for the Shaymin. So we don't have a Muscle Band left in our deck. That's a bit problematic. Also did discard the Darkrai. I don't think we'll need it. We have one Buddy Rescue to get it back. Somehow I clicked the reverse value. I don't know how. So we'll go with this. And then we will rush in. And we will retreat into the baby Yveltal. This will not be a knockout. Unfortunately. Just 10 short. But I don't think it matters. I think it's GG. I don't see my opponent coming back. Unless we suddenly see 2 Greninja breaks or something like that. There's an Evo Soda. Probably for the Greninja with the Water Shuriken. Indeed. So So if my opponent can find a DCE and then retreat into the Kangaskhan and then do a Water Shuriken, we could get knocked out. This Yveltal could get knocked out because 30 from the Water Shuriken on the baby Yveltal would bring it down to 100, and then the counter kick could do 100 if my opponent flips heads. But it doesn't seem like that is going to happen. So I will go ahead and rush in. I'm going to attack with the Yveltal on the bench. And then just hit for the Evil Ball. Taking one more prize. There's a Muscle Band. Next turn we will get a one-hit KO on the Kangaskhan EX, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 energies. If my opponent attaches another one, that's 120. It's 140. That's 160 with the Muscle Band. So we just need a DCE or something to get the knockout. There is a DCE. That's it. I think that is GG if I counted correctly. We'll hit for the Evil Ball for the win. For 190 indeed. Look at that. I think the most interesting matches were the first one and the second one. With the first one being actually the most interesting. The second one was a mirror match. It was pretty easily pulled off. And the last one seemed a bit, it seemed a bit overwhelming for my opponent. I don't think my opponent's deck was up to the task of dealing with an Yveltal Archeops Gallade deck. So that's going to be it for today. I think we will end on this positive note, taking the tournament win, having faced Night March, Yveltal, and a mixture of things deck. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more competitive, silly and fun deck ideas. I hope you have a truly Karptastic day, and I will see you next time.
Karp, 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 Karp.